discovering the wonders of our state's natural resources and exploring the thrill of outdoor adventure. Mississippi Outdoors is a co-production of the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks and Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
Welcome to Mississippi Outdoors. I'm Amanda Mills.
And I'm Melvin Tingle. Thanks for joining us. Hey, in our first story, we're going rabbit hunting at Trim Cane Wildlife Management Area.
Then, Melvin joins Tony Green in Itawamba County for some grinnell fishing. Or was it bass fishing?
Hey, Amanda, it started out grinnell fishing, but it turned out to be bass fishing. Hey, we're in Oktibbeha County at Trim Cane Wildlife Management Area, and we're going out after rabbits. And I have Mr. Bob Harmon. And Bob, you've got this group that we hunted with last year up here and had a great hunt. Introduce these fellows to us.
Okay, this is Danny Bell, this is my brother Billy Harmon, this is Mr. Charles Clanton and Leonard DeShera.
Last year we entitled this The Walking Dead because we counted up of these fellas right here that we had 20-something stints all told. So we don't move quite as fast as some of the younger guys, but we enjoy rabbit hunting, and we got a great pack of dogs, and we fixing to go out and have some fun. Oh, well, the rabbit come in pretty far, I thought, but accidentally I got him. And the dogs all stopped, and so we fixing to go back and get another. Well, Bob, tell me about your dogs. What is it that you look for in a beagle? What do you want that dog to do?
I want that dog to get out and hunt and not stay behind your feet. I want him to open up on track. I got one dog that we call Cheater, because when he's running the track, he will leave it and get ahead of the pack.
We saw that.
And that's just what makes it fun, you know, just work with them and see what they can do and what they can't do.
Which way did he come?
I got him coming from the north there.
Man, that's a cane cutter, isn't it?
That's a big one.
Like and all these other fellas, what turns you on?
What turns me on is the dogs, working with young dogs, training dogs, and getting all our friends together and just get out and have a good time and sort of like fellowshipping with one another.
That's what it's all about.
It's just something about rabbit hunters that you get a lot of stories done.
That's exactly right. Nobody's going to tell the truth about it because nobody ever misses. And that's what makes it so much fun.
Get some more, boys. Get some fun.
Now, fellas, y'all sort of come in late to the show, but I think y'all came in with a vengeance. Tell me that you actually got one with a muzzle.
Yeah, Melvin, I think this is the first time on Mississippi Outdoors we ever killed a rabbit with a black powder muzzle loader. And I one-shot one rabbit. I'm shooting 100%. What about you, Al?
I'm 100%. Shot one time, killed one rabbit. Hey. But I can't beat Melvin. I can't shoot him and clean him, skin him at the same time.
Well, these boys are giving me a hard time, but we had fun this morning. We had a great meal, good fellowship. We fixing to get back in the bushes. And what's the strategy for this afternoon, Al?
To kill more than what we did this morning.
Okay. I hear.
Milk, right?
Hey, let's go get them. This rabbit, he squatted here, and then the dogs came back in there and picked him up, and they pushed him that way. He's been running about 3 minutes back in there. We've heard 3 shots. 1 shot, then bang, bang. That's not always good, but the dogs are stopping, so it may be. Well, you're shooting down the cut.
And I stood there, and he came right down the same path.
You kidding?
And he messed up the second time.
Is that right? Well, had you already shot all the undercover?
Yeah, just what I did. I shot an opening, and he didn't cross it. But when he came back through, he went across that opening. I was thinking way ahead.
I would say he's a rabbit. Danny, we have had an exciting time up at Trim Cane.
I'm telling you, I've enjoyed it.
Hey, all these guys, y'all have worked so hard to put rabbits in front of us. And we still got dogs running. It's tough, but we got to go home. The show is over. Thank y'all so much.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
We're here on the Ross Barnett Reservoir, Pelahatchie Bay to be specific. We've been monitoring a few of the alligator nests that we've documented this summer here on the reservoir and up the Pearl River. And we were out here a couple of days checking in on them and found that 3 of the nests are in the process of hatching. This nest right here is actually built on top of an abandoned beaver hut. We've got at least a dozen here in the water that we know have successfully hatched, and we know that they'll lay anywhere from 20 to 60 eggs at one time. And depending, all of those eggs may hatch, all of them may not. Here's one. There we go. Gonna come out of the egg right here in front of us, looks like. This is fairly new for the Mississippi Department of Wildlife in that we've been limited on equipment to be able to get out and find these types of things to survey. Through the purchase of a few airboats over the last couple of years, we now have the ability to get into the habitat where these alligator nests are established. There's a lot of information out there about alligators in coastal regions like Louisiana and Florida that have been doing research for decades. And we don't have a lot of information about how alligator populations work up in these upper regions of the state. Anything from how much nesting opportunity is there, what's the success, how far these alligators range, are their growth rates much different than those alligators in coastal regions? That's something we hope to learn.
Well, today Mississippi Outdoors is in Etowah County, and we're going gruntle fishing. And we're in an old dead lake, cypress trees, beautiful setting, and my fishing partner is Tony Green. Tony has invited us to come up and do a little gruntle fishing. And Tony, it's just good to be up here, fella.
Well, thank you, Melvin, for coming. We got a beautiful day here.
Right.
The humidity's held off. It's still 92 in the shade, but it feels a little bit better than it has the past few days.
Well, Tony, tell me a little more about where we fishing here. This is on your property, and it's right off the 10-ton.
Well, I started fishing here when I was just old enough to hold a fishing pole. There's been many a brim come out of here, and bass and grinnell and a few willow cats.
Well, let's get out here and see if we can't pick up something. Ah, that's a little grinnell. That's a little grinnell. I believe he could be a bass.
I believe it's a largemouth.
Oh, it is?
Melvin.
Now come grinnell fishing, we start catching this trash
Yeah.
fish. Yeah, it's a little bass. Hey, we'll take anything to start us.
That's right.
Just typical largemouth. Creek. Put him back, let him grow up. Boom. Well, you know, Tony, a lot of people in the state of Mississippi, I'm sure, don't even know what a grinnell is.
Well, a grinnell, for the most part, is a pretty ugly fish, just to tell you the truth, compared to a bass or a catfish or a brim. But you get one on, they just fight. I mean, just as good as any bass or catfish. They, what I understand, what I've read about them, they're some kind of primitive fish.
Right.
They've been around a long time.
Oh, he's done got it. Hey, he's another small one. But he's a fish.
Plastic worm's working.
All right. Now, you know, these are good eating fish.
They really are.
Because this size, and you got all this fresh water. Hey, that's, I believe, a cousin of that one we just caught. Now, this is just an old dead lake, you call it?
Back when the Indians were here, before, this was the old-time Bigby River. We always called it the Dead River. That's just what we called it, the old Dead River.
How about that?
The Chickasaw Indians inhabited this area, and there's village sites all up and down this bottom. Pretty good fish.
Hey. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the title of this movie to Bass Along the Ten-Tom.
All of them about the same size.
Yeah, that's right. Our grinnell fishing trip has turned into a bass fishing trip.
You take about a few of those and fillet them out, that'd be some good eating.
And you know, a lot of people, this is us old people, like my age, this is what we remember. This is what we had to fish in. Well, you didn't have the reservoirs and lakes and places like that. We fished these creeks and where they come in and cut a canal and leave these little oxbow lakes all around.
Come on up here.
That same size, aren't they?
Yep.
Must have had a good hatch.
That was a good year for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a good year for him.
He hit it that twice, second time got it.
He was greedy, wasn't he?
Like that old lizard.
I mean, we'll have to ease this out. Well, he just run up under some bushes. I wonder if he'd come out in that open water.
Pulling the boat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they are all the same size.
Well, Tony, what effect has the Ten-Tom had on the fishing along, say here like in Etowah County, as it was prior to and then since it's come in?
This bottom drains a whole lot quicker than it used to after a flood.
Yeah.
And so these old sloughs, they just don't get the number of floods that they used to get. So the bass and a lot of the catfish and grinnell and crappie, they're still in here. But I guess it's really affected the brim fishing more than anything else. You just don't have the brim in these old sloughs. Pretty good bass.
Got another bass. Where's the grinnells?
No grinnells.
We can't
all largemouth.
Can't catch nothing but trash fish.
Trash fish when you want to catch one. Boy, he hit it hard.
Well, does hot weather affect the grinnell?
They're just like the old bass. They're gonna find the shade and structure and hang close to it. Of course, these old oxbows are full of those little bitty bait fish and minnows and small shad. Of course, old grinnell, he'll eat just about anything that comes along. I've caught them on a devil's horse.
Yeah.
And I've caught them on a plastic worm, so they'll hit just about anything.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just left it sitting out in the water. Guess he followed it. That's the best one yet.
Well, Tony, you know, I've fished all over the state of Mississippi, but to me, there's nothing like a lake like this. It's oxbow, old river runs where the canals would cut through, or the 10-tom cut through, and it's left this. This is isolated. You don't have a lot of pressure. And you got the cypress trees, the cypress knees, you've got everything that looks so natural. All right, and look at my man go.
You're gonna jump in the boat. All right. Yeah, we could have had the grease hot and we could have had a fish fry tonight.
Well, the old sun is dropping behind the treetops, and we have got a long way to go with a paddle, and we're fixing to head out, and it's just been a great day in Mississippi's outdoors.
That was a beautiful old lake, Melvin.
Yes, indeed, Amanda.
In our next story, we go turkey hunting with a young man in Smith County.
We showed up at behind one of my granddad's properties, and we're on the top of this hill listening to see if we could hear one to tell where we needed to go. And we were sitting around, and it was getting really close to daylight. Heard a faint gobble, but we wasn't sure, so we sat there for a couple more minutes, and we heard it a couple more times. So then we determined where to go to possibly get on the turkey. And we went and sat down, and the gobbler never came, but we did have 3 jakes show up. They stood around for a few minutes, got within about 2 yards of me, and then a few minutes later, 3 more jakes came in. Dead on that turkey. I don't know.
You tried too far.
I guess. That second time I know I did.
I think myself, it's a good thing you ain't an Indian, because you couldn't find a track.
We went back to the house, decided where we were gonna hunt the next morning. Then woke up the next morning, went out, and beautiful morning, and we went out and heard the turkeys gobble finally right before daylight. Sat there for about 10-15 minutes, I think. And then a couple hens flew down that we didn't even see, and we saw them. And then I poked my head around the wood line to see, and we saw 2 gobblers standing there, which we had no idea were even there. We thought they were still on the roost, hadn't flown down yet. They stayed to about from 100 to 180 yards off from us, just walking around, never did get within range. Then we went back to the house, and we were gonna hunt there that evening where they were going to roost, to maybe catch them going to roost. And we went there, and whenever we got out there, the turkeys were already out in the field. We just didn't see them. So we snuck up whenever we were looking out there and scared them, so they ran off. Oh, we got this notorious place that we've had for the past 3 years. Gobblers would fly down from the roost in the mornings. We call it the landing strip because it's a little strip that's cut open and there's a creek across there. They fly from the other side of the creek every morning, usually. After that evening hunt, so the next morning we decided to go there and see if we could catch them flying down from the landing strip. And we went out there and they didn't show up, so we decided to leave. And we were walking out and we just wanted to look and see maybe if they had landed on the sandbar since we spooked them from the field last time. So we looked over there and sure enough, there they were strutting around on the sandbar. After we left that morning, we went back to the cabin at Hot Coffee and we were just got a bite to eat, just walking around, getting ready for the evening hunt. And we happened to look out the window and we thought we saw turkeys out there. And possibly the turkeys that we had spooked maybe had finally come out since we left. So we got the binoculars, looked out there, and sure enough there was all the turkeys we had seen the morning before just standing out there. So we went out there, tried to sneak up on them and spooked them. They were down in these weeds. If it wasn't difficult, I don't think it'd be near as much fun. 'Cause, I mean, if you could just walk out any day and kill a turkey, that wouldn't be nothing. I mean, nobody'd enjoy that that type of hunting, really. And I don't really know, that's probably the most difficult type of hunting that there is. I know it's harder than deer hunting, most deer hunting anyway. And I just really like it because of the difficulty. I've always enjoyed being in the outdoors. And I've always enjoyed any type of hunting with any of my relatives, friends, anything really. I don't really know why I like it so much. It's just something that I was introduced to, and I've loved it ever since. I mean, any type of hunting, turkey hunting, deer hunting, dove hunting, duck hunting, I mean, just anything.
You know, I've been buying hunting and fishing license all my life. Now, I've reached 65. In fact, I've reached 75. I still want to help. That's why I bought the Senior Exempt license. Here's Jason to tell us all about it.
The Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks several years ago introduced the Senior Exempt license to the sportsmen of Mississippi who are 65 years of age and older. This voluntary license includes both big and small game hunting, the use of archery and primitive weapon, and it covers fresh and saltwater fishing. The purchase of a Senior Exempt license is a total of $5, $4 if they're purchased here at the Jackson office. Within 10 business days, the Department of Wildlife will mail you a Senior Exempt license on a plastic card. The Senior Exempt license is a voluntary license, but residents who are 65 years of age and older who are willing to purchase the exempt license attribute to the federal funds received by the Department of Wildlife from 2 federal programs. These funds goes towards the conservation and recreational efforts within the state of Mississippi. The Senior Exempt license is available at any location that sells hunting and fishing license. District offices, state lakes, state parks, your Walmarts, Academy Sports, and some of your local bait and tackle shops. They're also available on our website at www.mdwfp.com. And if you would like to purchase them by phone, you may do so by calling 1-800-546-4868.
The Senior Exempt license is just another way that you can help conservation in Mississippi. Hey, that's all the time we have for now. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Join us again next time for more exciting adventures. Until then, I'm Amanda Mills.
And I'm Melvin Tingle. See ya outdoors.